Hi, this is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I have a card, Happy Graduation, using some of the products from the Ornate Garden Suite. So let's set this aside and get started with the creating. So the first thing we're going to use is this Ornate Style stamp set. We're going to use this little floral piece here. Let me set this aside. I've got a piece of Whisper White and the stamp and basic gray ink. And I'm just going to pat the basic gray ink all over here. Whoops, some of those flowers didn't get ink. Give it a rub all over the back to make sure that all the parts of the image touch the paper. And now it's time to do some coloring. So let's bring in the first group of Stampin' Blends. I've got the Daffodil Delight combo pack. I've got the Rococo Rose combo pack. And then I've got Light Lovely Lipstick and Light Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to start with the Daffodil Delight and color the centers of my daisies. Let's move this in a little closer, and then I can scoot down and color, and you don't have to see my head in the frame. It's a win for everybody. Okay. And then we're going to come down here. And I'm just alternating with some dark and light to create some shading on this piece. Okay, time to move on to the next color. Let's cap these up. And I'm going to use the Light Rococo Rose and the Light Lovely Lipstick. Oh, how about the Dark Rococo Rose in the... Okay, so we're going to color these flowers here. And you get the idea. I'm going to finish coloring and okay, so next we're going to do some blending for this last, a different kind of blending for this last flower. We're going to use the Light Flirty Flamingo and the Light Lovely Lipstick and the Light Rococo Rose to give us just a little bit different shading here. Or a different shade, not different shading. So this is the lovely lipstick going in here on a few of these. And then I'm going to, oh, I've got the dark, so let's fix that. The light Rococo Rose. Okay, and then this light flirty flamingo. Okay, and then I'm going to come back with the light Rococo Rose over all of that. And then let's give it a hint of this light flirty flamingo. Just brightens it a little bit. Okay, and then I see one flower that I missed earlier, and so we're going to pick it up here. Okay, let's cap all of these and move on to our leaves. Okay, for leaves and shading then, I've got the Old Olive combo, the light Granny Apple Green, and then a dark smoky slate. So we're going to start with the dark Old Olive, and then bring in the light Granny Apple Green, and then come over that with the light Old Olive. Okay, and do that again for our next flower. Leaf, these are leaves. And then I'm just going to take this and dot right in here with the dark Old Olive. Okay, so let's cap these. But one more bit of, we need the stems, so I'm using the bullet point of the Old Olive light. And then I want the bullet tip for the dark Old Olive. We're going to just draw in here. Okay, and now we need some shading. So I've got that dark smoky slate and my color lifter, and I'm going to scribble on some of the dark smoky slate and pick it up with my color lifter and add some gray shadows in here under these daisies. And it will help to make them kind of pop off the page when we're done. Just coming back in to darken a little of this up. Okay, so I'm going to fussy cut this, and then I will be back. Now that I've fussy cut this piece, or use my paper snips to cut it out, whichever term you prefer, I've got a couple of spots that I want to add some shading to that I didn't cut with my scissors, and so that the background in those areas isn't stark white, I'm just going to come back in and quickly add that color. You'll know when you do your cutout where you need to add just a little bit more. Don't get it too wet, as you don't want the ink bleeding into your daisies or other colored parts. If that happens, clean the tip of your color lifter and simply brush the ink back the other direction. Okay, so that's looking like we're done with it. And now we're going to create the background piece. I've got a piece of Whisper White and my soft seafoam ink pad. Let me drop a little bit of soft seafoam ink refill in here. And my aqua painter, just want to get it wet. And we're just going to do a really rough, got a napkin here, paper towel, whatever works for you. And I'm going to paint and blot. And this is a really fast and ugly way to do this, but very effective. So now I'm going to hold this over top, and I'd like this to stretch out a little more here at the bottom, so we're going to add a little more here. Let's give it a blot, and that looks like my background piece is done. Let's put these pieces aside. This will take a moment to dry. You can speed it up with your heat tool. Next, I've got the Well Said stamp set and my sentiment. And I've just dropped my strip of paper on the floor, so give me one moment. Here we go. I'm going to line that up with my grid lines and grab my basic gray ink pad, and the first word is graduation. Normally my head's right down on top of this, so we're going to hope I'm straight, and then we're going to stamp happy over here. Okay, let's put these aside. We'll trim this down using the words as our guide. Okay, and then graduation, same thing. We're using the word as the guide for cutting. And okay, so I'll sweep these aside and we'll get on to our ribbon embellishment. For the ribbon, we're going to use some of this Whisper White flax ribbon. And let's see, we've got that end cut that way. So let's flip this around. And then we're just going to take our snips and cut this joining threads in here. Okay, then I need my Whisper White Baker's Twine. And I'm going to scrunch this in the center and wrap this. I want to leave a long lead. And that looks about right. And then just tie a knot with this. Okay, and that's probably longer than I want. Okay, so fluff this out as you like, and then let's bring all the pieces back in and we're ready to assemble our card. So next we need to use the largest of these Ornate Layers dies to cut a piece of soft sea foam, and through the magic of television I have one of those cut already. You can find a size chart for these dies on my blog. I'll try to remember to post a link to that blog post. And now that we have all of our pieces ready, we can start and assemble the card. So I've got a thick Whisper White base, and then this watercolor piece that we created earlier. I'm going to add mint macaron. I'm going to add multi-purpose glue to this piece and slide it right in and use that Ornate Layers piece as a frame and give it a slight movement here. Okay, and now press it all down. And then the same thing here, we're going to add multi-purpose glue. And the reason I use the glue instead of dimensionals for this layer is because we've just got a tight border here all the way around with the card base, and that shows better when the pieces are layered directly on each other. So then we've got the piece here that we used our Stampin' Blends and cut out by hand, and I've already added dimensionals and mini dimensionals. The mini dimensionals are perfect for out here on the leaves and small flowers. Okay, and then we're going to slide this up and place it so that we've got nice bits of that watercolor background peeking out and around. Let me sweep all of these off to the side. And then we're going to add our bit of fiber here with mini glue dots. So that it looks like it's a little handheld bouquet, kind of a nosegay of flowers. And our sentiment pieces from Well Said. And I'm going to add those with multi-purpose glue. Let me just set both of these on here so that my spacing is good when I put each of them down. And straight would be lovely. That is not quite straight, so let's give it a quick adjustment. And a little more multi-purpose glue for this one. And then I'm going to add some of these wonderful gilded gems. They are part of the Ornate Garden suite. That's a preview from the annual catalog and available right now. And these are like, if you can't tell, these are like gold rhinestones. I'm going to hide this one kind of down here, and so he's kind of peeking through. Anyway, there's our happy graduation card. Thanks for stopping by. This was Sara Levin, the Artful Inker of theartfulinker.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can shop for all these Stampin' Up! Products in my Stampin' Up! Store. There will be a link in the description below the video. And then hop on over to my blog and subscribe to my newsletter. And you'll be receiving the tutorial for this card in a written form later this week. Thanks. Bye.